We share from experience. Moms talk about things that affect moms in general. The mommy entrepreneurs, we are the moms that handle business, and that means a lot. Remember, Entrepremommies.
Hello and welcome to the Entrepremommies Show. We are on vacation, but don't worry. We have put together a fun-filled show for you today. This is a best of the Entrepremommies. We are going to include clips from some of our recent shows that talk about different subjects that mean something to you. Our first clip up is Tiffy, the Resellqueen, and Nicole Flamer talking about their recent purchases of vehicles. And somehow it gets into the conversation about the shipping backlog and semiconductor issues that are happening right now. Take a listen. And then I kind of figured out it's because of where I live, because there was a dealership that's about 45 minutes away, and they have them with all the options.
Oh, okay.
And that, I think it's because that's a more metropolitan place. So they decided, to order the ones that have all the options. And so I'm going to keep it. It's not actually what I wanted. I really wanted the Traverse, the Chevy Traverse.
Is nice. Yes.
I really wanted that, but they didn't have them available. And the guy at the dealership, he was like, I want to be honest. He was like, I don't know when they're coming. That's what he told me.
Yes.
I can tell you what I got coming now.
Yeah.
But I don't know when they're coming. And I'm glad I didn't wait, because it was probably like a year later. And that's when I started seeing the Traverses on the road. And I was like, oh, they got the new ones out. And actually he contacted me and he was like, we got them. If you want them, you want to come in and do a trade? And I was like,
yeah.
And it's not because I don't want the car. It's because I have paid ahead on my loan so much.
Oh, yes.
That
you don't want to lose that.
I don't want to lose that. And he's like, well, we could probably give you a lot more than what we would normally give you for your trade-in, because they don't have a lot of cars right now.
Right. Oh gosh, it's bare.
It's an issue. That's why used car lots are making a killing, but not really, because they need that money to go buy more cars. And the cars now are so expensive.
Yes.
Because of the whole, well, I'll give you a little tiny bit of what I understand about this whole chip crisis.
Okay.
So, as we all know, there are these little tiny computer chips that are in like just about everything that we use. In cars, in hospital equipment, and even like your cable equipment. Okay.
Yes.
Little tiny chip. Well, there's only like 1 or 3 companies that actually make these chips. And guess what? They're not in the United States.
Of course not.
Why would they? So, but the whole issue is not just about the chip. It's about this little tiny conductor that goes onto the chip or next to the chip that connects it to the device that it needs, that it's being inserted into.
Okay.
There's not that many places that are making them. And there weren't before, but it wasn't an issue.
Right.
And then COVID happened.
Right.
And then there was a slowdown in production, not just because, of COVID, but there was a lot more precautions that have to be put into place in these type of factories. So it's not just the United States that's putting precautions out. It's every country that has a different precaution that needs to happen.
Correct.
And it was a slowdown. And it's not just a slowdown on that particular one product. It's a slowdown on everything.
Yes.
So, and then on top of that, you also have the lack of workers at the shipyards. So you have these tanker cargo ships that are just floating around because they can't dock,
Right.
because they don't have enough workers to take the cargo off. Then truckers are literally sitting there for hours upon hours upon hours waiting for a load. And by the way, truckers don't get paid till they start driving.
Right.
So
So
they
they're
don't
just
got the
waiting,
load.
not making any
They're
money.
not getting paid.
Uh,
That's self-employment. For
Yes.
most people, the way that works is they're self-employed. So they don't get paid until they start getting that cargo on their truck so they can go from point A to point B. And
Mhm.
who knows how far they got to drive.
Right.
So they got to waste their time waiting if it shows up.
Yeah.
So that's part of the backlog of not just, with cars, but with everything. Because
Mhm.
when I got my car, it was sitting in Baltimore for like a week and a half.
Really? Just
Yeah.
because there was no one to deliver it?
No one to deliver it. As I even asked my guy, I was like, look, can I go and get it? Like,
Right.
look,
Yeah, I can find my way to Baltimore.
look, I go to Baltimore. It's 2
Mhm.
hours away from me. I got no
Right.
problem. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it don't work that way. He was like, I'd go and get it. That's
Right.
because I wasn't the only person at the dealership waiting for my car.
Yeah.
So when the car got there and I went there, to make the exchange and everything, you should see all of us lined up getting our new cars.
Oh, that was funny.
And he was like, yep. So now we have no more cars anymore. He's like,
Right.
got cars for one day. We have no more cars.
And they're gone the next day.
They were gone.
Yeah.
Well, he called me same day.
Yeah.
He called me same day. And actually, I will say my sales guy was really good to be in contact with us to say, hey, I know exactly where it is now. This is where your vehicle is. He was like, I don't think it's coming today, but I expect it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. And he called. And we end up having like a bad storm.
Mhm.
And like the next day, and he was like, it's a bad storm. They're not going to drive the trucks in a storm with all the
Right.
cars on them. And I was like, that's fine. I'm okay. We're
Mhm.
good. Now, meanwhile, we already did the paperwork.
Right.
So I'm already getting the paperwork from the loan company.
Yeah.
And
Like, I don't have my car though.
right. And you know what else happened?
Oh, there's my alarm.
SiriusXM done turned off my service.
Oh, we have no car to put it in yet.
Because I never even called them or
Mhm.
anything because, you need the new car ID, radio
Yes.
ID number and all that good stuff. Well, it's because they were already processing my my trade-in on my old car.
Okay.
And I was like, good, y'all done turned my radio off? Like, what the devil? Now, I normally listen to it through the app anyway, but I
Okay.
was just like, oh, okay, y'all really proficient today,
Yeah.
making sure that you get your stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that was my car saga. So, well, I'm happy. Next up on the Entrepremommies show, you are going to hear Nicole Flamer help Tiffany Tracey with her entrepreneurial wellness, time management, and talk about the importance of entrepreneurial mindset for your wellness and your health. Let's take a listen. I had a little issue with time management this week.
Okay.
Time management, for me, it's always funny. I'm good with time management when I'm just working for me.
Mhm.
Because I am a list person. If you ever walk into my office environment, I have these little notepads. I love notepads with lines on them.
Me
See,
too.
I have a whole packet. Oh, I don't want to make noise, but I have a whole packet like
Mhm.
this of these, and you
Are
just
those
stick
the
them
sticky
on
ones? Yeah, I have those too. Yep.
I have
Yeah.
those all over the place, and I have notes. I have different colors for different things, as
Okay.
I'm color coded for things. This color is actually for my child.
Okay.
So if he needs to interrupt me, he writes his name on this,
That's cute.
and he'll just put it there because at times we don't know if I'm on the phone
Mhm.
and it needs to be quiet, or if it's just okay for him to just come in. we don't always know that. And he's not going to understand that. He's 6. So
Right.
that's one of the methods that I use is my Post-it note method when you need something. Just
Okay.
pull it up, put your name on it, and I know to come out when I am done.
Okay.
If it's on fire, then, say
Right.
something. But other than that, so I added a new client. So I am, as you know, I do contract work for like call centers.
Yes.
So I added on a new client. So I have to go through the training process for it. Now, the thing that is nice is it's all at my own pace. So it's self-paced. And then there's a little bit of time period where you are required to meet, like on a Zoom type of thing. But it's not your whole day.
Right.
Which is good. So it allows me to be able to do things like this.
Right.
So I actually have a meeting in the afternoon that I had to attend, but it's only going to be like for 2-3 hours.
Right.
So, and we have like this self-paced learning that we have to do so that, we understand the call flow and all that type of stuff. So I'm actually ahead by a day and a half on purpose.
Okay. That's right.
And I worked on that this weekend because I got other stuff I need to do.
Yes.
And one of the things that is real important to me that I never realized was so important to me until I started like on my journey was I need time for health.
Yes.
I have to have my time to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I need that little bit of time to make sure that I know throughout the day, I know what I'm eating so that I can be my healthy self. And it's funny. I never used to think like that before. Back when I had like my corporate regular 9-to-5 job, I rushed and got up, got myself together, stopped at whatever fast food place, donut shop. Oh, I love me a donut. Okay. Got that, hurried up, smashed that into my mouth, went to work. Sometimes I didn't even eat. I would just, and then especially when I was in management, so I took my lunch whenever I wanted to. It would be 2-3 o'clock. Oh, I didn't eat yet. Let me go order this large thing.
Yes.
And I would eat that. And then here we go, 7 o'clock, I'm eating something large again.
Yeah.
Completely off. So now that I have a better wellness schedule, I find I don't care what I have to get done. I'm going to work out.
Yes.
And I don't, that's where I am right now. If I don't get my workout in, it's a problem for everybody in my house.
Yeah.
And if that means I have to get up at 5:30, which I'm like, am I getting up at 5:30 again? But if I have to, I will.
Yeah.
I'll just go to bed at 10 because I got to get my 8 hours, which I'm not like I'm some health guru or anything like that. But let me tell you, 8 hours of sleep really is a good thing. I know you hear a lot of entrepreneurs that do I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yes.
Or stay up past 2-3 o'clock in the morning to work on your thing. Okay, look, you're going to have nights like that.
Yeah.
You are going to have a night or two where you are up beyond your bedtime working on your dream.
Yes.
However, you still need to sleep to refuel so you can continue on with your dream.
Yeah.
That whole, stay up to 2-3 o'clock working on your dream. Yeah, you're going to have days like that.
Yeah.
But that's not a way to live. That's a way to die.
That's a way to die. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm not into that whole like hustle culture where everybody's like hustle hard. Oh, heck no. You know why? Because you get sick. I mean, and like this is what happened to me just moving. Like I was trying to keep up with everything. I was trying to, I actually took a break on my business for like the last month because I knew I wasn't going to be able to devote any time to it whatsoever, not with moving into the house and everything. And then also keeping the kids straight. So that hustle thing, oh no, it doesn't. I mean, it works for some people, but I'm 44 years old at this point, and I've done all the hustling I'm about to do. so I can't get down like that. I need sleep, I need exercise, I need good food, and I need to relax. Period. Otherwise, things will not work out well. I'm snapping at the kids. I am missing things, missing appointments. missing all kinds of stuff. Sometimes you just have to settle down and take it easy, because at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it'll be there. There'll be other clients. There will be other
Yes.
opportunities. So rushing to, I mean, that's kind of part of even how I think law of attraction wise. One of my affirmations is there's more than enough of everything. More than enough love, more than enough time, more than enough money, more than enough. And it helps ground me so that I'm not rushing and scrounging to pick up any and everything I could possibly pick up just because it's offered to me. Sometimes you have to push it away and say, I don't need that right now. I don't need that opportunity. I've pushed clients away. I'm like, I can't work on your stuff because it requires either too much of me or it requires too much time. And I just don't have that time to devote unless you want to work on my schedule. So I totally get it. Totally get it.
Well, and I think that honesty too is probably the best thing, because the last thing you want to do is pick up a project
Mm-hmm.
and not really have the time. And then when you submit what you've done, they're going to look like, well, this isn't
What is this?
what is this? This
Right.
isn't the caliber that I'm used to from
Right.
her. What
Yes.
the devil? I had to learn that a while ago, because before I got into being a real entrepreneur mommy, I always had that 9 to 5, and then I had a hustle on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that hustle on the side was too much.
Yes.
I would do taxes. I was selling all types of products, being
Mm-hmm.
the party lady on the Saturdays. I was doing party hosting.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy that though, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but there's a lot of
Yeah.
work to that though. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize that. It's not just you show up and you dance.
Right.
Actually, when you party host, you don't get to have fun at the party, by the way.
No, you're too busy trying to coordinate them sales.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of things I used to do on the side. I love doing the club stuff, but
Yeah.
it can be draining.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
sometimes no can be a full sentence.
Yep. Yep.
I had to learn that. I would say my early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Early 30s is when I realized, oh, I'm doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when all the realization hit me about working in corporate America, how
Mm-hmm.
you're replaceable
Yes.
really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And why am I killing myself for this job that if I die, I'll be replaced just like that?
Right. Right.
Now, I do find it funny that when I did leave my one position, it took 2 people to take care of what I used to do. But
Right.
I'll go there today.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes you feel good, but
I was
then it's like,
oh, y'all needed to hire 2 people to do what
Right.
I used to do.
right. But could we talk about a raise though? Yeah.
Welcome back to the Entrepremommies Show. Let's take a listen as Tiffany and Nicole discuss how motherhood helps you for business.
Yeah. I would say like motherhood and business sense. Like the one thing I have learned is customer service, because my kids are picky, and they can be picky eaters. I think I've learned that one size doesn't fit all. And so like when I'm dealing with people in the business sense, if we come into some sort of disagreement, if you will, or challenge, I have learned from my kids to try to see it from a different perspective, to try to see it from like, some of my older kids have, some of all my kids got sensory issues in one way or another. But so there's different times they didn't want to wear certain clothes. They didn't want to eat certain foods. My son would only eat chicken nuggets and spaghetti for years. Couldn't get him to eat anything. And, until he went to a school, and, I guess they had a method that they probably need to copyright and sell, because now he eats anything and everything. So
I was going to say, because your child eats.
Yes, they eat. Yes, yeah. And but Cyrus was, at one point, it was only spaghetti and chicken nuggets. That's it, nothing else. But I've learned that being able to see things from somebody else's perspective and somebody else's pain points, it's important. And when I have customers that have challenges, if I have late shipping or, that's probably my biggest headache is shipping. But, just different things, pleasing different people, setting expectations. So my customer service, because sometimes I want to be like, you know what? I don't care. To any of my customers listening, never to you. Never. That was never the case. But
never.
No, there's always other customers. But no, but sometimes I want to be like, because I know what happened or something. Like, it's like I know that the product is coming. It'll get to there when it gets
there.
But I've learned to listen with patience and, understand that people are buying things for birthday presents. People having what I call Amazon expectations. People, different things. So I've learned that I have to see it from their perspective. And I would definitely say that my kids were the number one teachers of that. So
I have to say one thing that you touched on was pain point.
Mm-hmm.
And when I used to go through like sales training,
mm-hmm.
that was one thing that they've always taught was listen to your customer,
mm-hmm.
find out their pain point, and you take that pain point, turn it around, and that's how you get your sale.
Yeah.
You say, oh, sorry, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, you talked about having problems doing X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about this product is you won't have that issue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've given them a solution. And I've always heard that one saying that the best businesses provide the best solutions.
Yes. That's
so
good, yeah.
That, and you kind of do learn that through
mm-hmm.
parenthood.
Yeah.
If you haven't, how can I say, don't have like improv skills,
mm-hmm.
you're going to learn that becoming a parent.
Yes.
Because kids say things that you're like, I don't know where you came up with this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me answer this in the best way I can.
Nice and delicately, right?
Use words that you can understand so that I don't influence you the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, because kids, they have a way of humbling you.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That if you really want to be humbled, have a child.
Yeah.
You'll get humbled real fast.
My daughter told somebody, Mom, you wore those pants yesterday. And I'm like, everybody doesn't need to know I wore these jeans yesterday. They don't need to know that. Like, that's my business.
What's funny is I think I know which child it was of yours.
Mom, you wore those jeans yesterday. And I'm like, do we have to put it on Front Street? Does everybody have to know? No.
Mommy got stuff to do.
Mommy got stuff to do. And you know what? I'm like, jeans, shoot.
They got two more wears.
They got two more wears, right? I wasn't that busy the day before. I'm like,
I didn't cause a sweat.
And you got to break some jeans in sometimes. Yes. So they're not always comfortable day one, but day two, they fit perfect.
They slide in all nice. Right. You're like, okay, you don't have to jump.
No, exactly. But she told everybody. I'm like, thanks a lot. But,
I know which child it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think about, when you have to pitch, when you get to that point where hopefully you're, going to investors,
mm-hmm.
You can't give a 2-hour pitch. I think everyone now knows about Shark Tank.
Yes.
And how they go on there, they have like a 30, I don't know, is it a 1.5 minute, some type of pitch? That's essentially kind of how it works in most venture capitalist places.
Mm-hmm.
You come in with your presentation, you give your pitch, you give your main points that you need them to know,
mm-hmm.
and you're basically saying, this is why I need your money.
Right.
Okay. So in a way, that is sort of how it works with most investment opportunities for your business,
mm-hmm.
unless of course someone personally that's like, that's a good idea,
right? Let me put some money behind that.
Here's a check. Now I personally don't know anyone that does things like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, you might be in that situation,
right?
Worry about that. But if you and I think also if you think about when a person asks, oh, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You should already have those main points right
Yes.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone asks me what I do, say I'm a media personality that likes to talk about making money and helping business so people can have access to financial freedom.
I
That's
love
my
it.
answer.
Yes.
I've come up with that. Someone says, well, what is it that you do? Because it's kind of hard to say what I do.
Right.
You know,
I feel you.
I'm
I draw a blank
serial
every time.
entrepreneur.
Yes. Yes.
None of the companies that I have make sense with each other.
Right.
So I have the
yep.
cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
I have the virtual call center. That doesn't go together.
Right.
You know, then I have the resale business and the liquidations, and then you know, media personality. I'm a podcast host. I'm a YouTube host. So I try to throw all that together. I'm like, yeah, what is it that I do? You know, as long as the direct deposits keep hitting, that's all that matters. Right. But that's my real quick answer for what it is that I do. And then I formulated that over time. Over time, that has changed. It hasn't been as long. It used to be, oh, I'm a YouTuber. And then it's like, oh, what do you talk about on YouTube? Oh, I talk about how to make money selling stuff. Oh, so what's that about? You know, so it's progressed. But I think for everyone with your business, you should come up with your pitch, because you never know who you could be sitting next to. If a person says, oh, what is it that your company does? Oh, we provide services to blah, blah, blah type of people that need answers with blah, blah, blah question and so forth. And, you know, little tidbit about why that's helpful. You never know who you could be sitting next to. You know, I like to always tell people, I may not be able to need your services, but I could know someone that might.
Right. Connections. That's very
true.
Know,
just this weekend, I actually something I didn't even tell you about yet. I purchased software, well, in the middle of purchasing software to help me with leads.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And in fact, I was going to tell you about it too, but I was listening to, you know, the presentation. I've had the presentation twice at this point, because when I had it the first time, it was kind of late at night, and I knew it was intrigued me, but because of how late it was, I wanted to make sure I got it.
Okay. And
so I went through the process now, purchasing the lead generation system, and it has other things with it that is not just with lead generation. They also have like networking, advertising things with it that you can use, and like thank you gifts and things like that. And other money making opportunities for you that you can like give to the people that are like your nose. So you can kind of monetize your nose or whatever. And so I was like, wow, as I'm listening to this, and I was on there with another person, and thankfully this other person knows who I'm talking about. And I was like, I think I know someone else that could really use this, like a little bit more than I could.
Right. And
so I'm like, okay, I reached out to her, let her know, okay, I got something that you can use that will help with your business.
Right.
And then with the whole, component of, okay, anyone that says no, you can still monetize them.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot, but you can still monetize them somehow.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's like, bet.
Yeah. Well, for the work that it takes to like even talk to somebody or pitch to somebody and then get a no, to be able to monetize that is great, because then it's not like you wasted your time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And so when I was listening to this guy, I actually got to him from another network marketer.
Okay.
And the way that he kind of works it out was like, I'll talk to anybody. He was like, even if you don't sign up under me. He was like, because eventually it all comes to me eventually type of thing. But he's like, I like to show people how to have financial freedom. Like, okay, you and I are in line.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
You're towards the
and
same
so,
goals.
But, and even like, I've had other presentations where I'm like, that's not really for me.
Right.
But I know someone else.
Right.
With their business, and I've linked them up. And so it turned out it wasn't a waste of time for the person to do the presentation to me.
Right.
Because in a way, I did selling for them for free.
Right. Yep.
It cost them their time to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I heard their pitch and figured out, okay, the pain points that they were providing solutions for.
Mm-hmm.
I may have known someone that had that pain point and
Right.
said, oh, I found a solution for you. And boom, now that person, they basically kind of got a sale off of me.
Right.
Even though I didn't purchase what they were selling because it wasn't of need for me.
Right.
But just putting their word out there. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't a waste of their time at that point.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. And that's something I definitely need to work on, is coming up with a pitch for myself that kind of encompasses everything. Because I'm similar to you. I got different things in different arenas. And this is where it's funny, where I have the problem is like, if you've ever done online dating.
Oh, girl.
And people ask you what you do, and it's like, what? How can I describe this? Because when you're doing the online dating, you have to kind of, people are looking at what you're saying, like what you're doing, like, okay, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm a police officer, like. Then people get an image of what kind of person you are. But if you are like somebody, because I've toyed with the idea of being like, oh, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm a creator. And so here's a funny sort of weird situation that happened to me. I met another life coach, because I do that too on the side. I met another life coach on a dating site. And
oh, wow.
So he called me on the phone. He's like, we were, texting back and forth. This was a couple of months ago. We were texting back and forth, and he's like, can I call you? And I was like, sure. Now, typically I'm not a big phone call person, because I don't have a big phone call life. I got too many
You got
things
too much
going on. Kids,
right.
It's loud. I don't want to scare you away. So you hear my background, right? So he was like, can we talk on the phone? So I said, okay, I got a couple minutes. We can talk. So he called, and he was like, okay. He's like, you're a life coach. He's like, what do you do? And I said, oh, I do law of attraction. And he was like, oh, okay. He says, well, I see you have all these things listed as, he's like, but what have you mastered? And I was like, I said, is this a job interview? And he said, yes, it is. And I said, okay, I'm not looking to be interviewed. I'm not looking for that. Like, because I said, I get what you're saying about what have you mastered, but I don't look at life like that as a mastery of subjects. I look at life as like a journey and an education. Like, I don't think I've really mastered anything, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this guy, he was like, oh, he's like, there's something wrong with you. He's like, and you're coaching us. Oh, he went in. So I said, you know what? I don't think we're a good fit. So I hung up on him. Don't you know he called me back like 3 or 4 times? And I'm like, all because I didn't have a good answer to this. What do you do question? What have you
what makes me think about?
I don't know.
Recently in the news, in pop culture news, Soulja Boy has been around because Kanye West was on, I think it's called Drink Champs, their podcast, and he was just, talking off the left side of his mouth.
Oh God.
So he said some things about Soulja Boy. He actually has apologized to Soulja Boy.
Did he?
But Soulja Boy was on an interview with the Breakfast Club a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And he talked about like his business acumen, and I was quite impressed.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he don't need to sell no more records.
Okay.
He has his fingers in a lot of different areas for different revenue.
Yes.
And he was on another podcast. I forget the name of the podcast. Actually, I don't know if it was a business podcast or if they were more hip hop, and they were trying to tell him that he was doing too much. And he's like, I'm trying to be a billionaire.
Right.
He was like, I'm not trying just to be a rapper. I'm trying to be a billionaire. Right. And this is what I need to do to be a billionaire. Right. So I kind of I used to say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
Because I used to feel so bad about that.
Yes, me too.
but that's when I was younger, when I was under the impression that you had to master one thing.
Right. Yep.
Why do I have to?
You don't. Right. Yeah.
Why can't I just grow as a person and branch off here and go, wow, I like that. I'll continue
Yes.
with that. Oh,
Mhm.
I liked that last year. I'm going to continue with that.
Mhm.
You can do that. It's
Yes.
your life.
It's your life, right? Who came up with the idea that you had to master something, that you had to be like, I know some people who have done one thing their whole life, 60 years. And it's like, that's great. And it's amazing. And it's beautiful. But I have never had that in my whole, you know what I mean? I've always been all over the place with different interests and different things. And I'm like, well, why can't I do it all? Just like, why can't I explore it all? I mean, I used to feel bad too. I used to feel really bad. I used to feel like I did not have any direction. But then I'm just like, what's direction? I mean, what's like, I also know people who are miserable. I mean, that might be a nice transition into our next topic, but I know people who are doing things and they're miserable and they're only doing them because that's all they know how to do. That's all they've ever done. So,
but see, there was a time, I think, that was the mindset. The mindset was, all right, I graduated high school. I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer, so I don't need to go to college. I'm going to go to the factory.
Yep.
And I'll get my factory job. I'm going to get my pension.
Yep.
And I'm going to work there for about 30, 40, 50 years. That was the life cycle of how that worked.
Yes.
It don't work that way no more.
No.
Gone are the days of someone working somewhere for more than sometimes 10 years.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get a good 10. 5 years. Yeah, you're lucky to get a good buck out of them. Because there's so many other opportunities. And the one, especially with the way like things were in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and even some in the 80s, it was a lot of, how can I put, this was the expectation. And if a person diverted from that, they were so ostracized.
Yeah. Yep.
Why don't you go to the mill and work there like the rest of your family? Maybe that's not what I want to do. Maybe I prefer to be more of an artsy direction. Maybe I want to be a little bit more creative. No, you have to work there.
Yeah.
And it's changed.
Yeah.
That's no longer the landscape, know, that. Thank you for watching and listening to Entrepremommies. Nicole Flamer, along with Tiffany Tracey, will return early 2022 for more new shows. We hope you enjoyed our trip down our business memory lane. And remember, we're the mommies that handle business. Bye.
At Entrepremommies, we share from experience. Moms talk about things that affect moms in general. The mommy entrepreneurs, we are the moms that handle business, and that means a lot. Remember, Entrepremommies.